This is Cheryl Hazard. So on my feed came up the heat of the night for YouTube. The actors then and now. I haven't watched the video yet. I went to the list of the actors in it. So I did kind of work with that. But that poses more questions. So you have a character that plays Cheryl. Randy Brooks and Claude Brooks were both on there. Both dark-skinned dudes that could potentially be related to Darrell Brooks. Winn Hollingsworth was on there, W-Y-N-N. 2 of Darrell Brooks' victims that he got 17 years for each have last names Hollingsworth. I think it was Mandy Hollingsworth and Charles Hollingsworth, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Jennifer Doro would know this one, the judge, but there was 2. And Alex, my brother, is friends with Matt Hollingsworth. And then Bobby Short was on the heat of the night with a character named David, in case I had any doubts whatsoever. Because David Short lived down the street from us. And he's friends with my brother, Alex. And his brother, Sheldon, received his training at the same police department my father worked at, San Rafael. And Elizabeth Short was the Black Dahlia. She was murdered many years before I was born. And I'm blanking on it. I think it was the stunt guy for True Blood, but his last name's Short. And so I'm looking at the idea that the Shorts are not just my brother's friends. They could be my family too. So the Brooks family potentially knew that my brother's friends, some of them could at least be part of my family, if not more than one. But he knew who my brother's friends were. Their family did. So now I think I'm within my right to say, what was up with that? And then they said that somebody named Kirby was the only person to stand up for Darrell. And Bruno Kirby was on the heat of the night. So he also knew who my brother's friends' connections would have been. Now, something I noticed of interest to this, though, was that James Best was in the heat of the night. Pete Best was in the Beatles. Mary Holloway was in the heat of the night. Josh Holloway was on Lost. And Julianne Holloway was in A Hard Day's Night. And Natalie Holloway went missing on her senior band trip to Aruba. And her mother felt like the way that the people there treated her was really mean and cruel and vindictive, and that they were nasty to her, and that they didn't treat her well for somebody who had a missing family member in their country. But Elizabeth Mitchell was on Lost with Josh Holloway. And I knew Marla Mitchell from school, and she performed the Matrix from the Minefields. And Darrell Brooks did make a reference about the pot boiling over, and that's something they talked about in the class about anger management that made a reference to the Minefields too. And and somebody named Kay worked on the heat of the night. And Lupin, there's minefields around there. So this makes me wonder what Daryl knows about this. This is Cheryl Hazard reporting.